So we're going to welcome the fantastic Tony Carr. Lovely to put a face to the name. I'm the person we spoke to on the phone. So Tony Carr is the current CEO of StarsightEnergy. His vision is to power Africa to prosperity, and for me, I'm very, very passionate about that. So that's really what caught my eye in his business, if I'm honest. He's a founding partner and former CEO of Mani Rent. He's a leading mining, which is a leading mining service provider. He's been able to excel within the West African business terrain with a blend of entrepreneurship, engineering, and business management. So from his profile, I know that some of you do have his profile, in fact all of you, so you'll be able to see why he's one of the perfect speakers for this topic. So over to you, Mr. Tony, it is a pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much, and much appreciated the opportunity to speak to your members and your investors. I guess I'll give you a little bit of background to myself that has partially been covered. I've been living in West Africa for 11 years, starting in Nigeria. I lived in Sierra Leone and Liberia all through the Ebola epidemic. I've lived in Ghana. I've worked in probably 20 countries across Africa. But the last 6 years I've been based here in Lagos as the CEO and one of the founders of StarsightEnergy. We are a solar energy storage and cooling as a service business. We operate more than 540 sites across Nigeria. We operate in every state of Nigeria. Most of our clients are either banking, gas stations, or consumer goods, commercial and industrial businesses. Gas station to a 1 megawatt bottling facility here in Lagos. The business started here in Nigeria. Last year we opened in Ghana, and we currently have a couple of megawatts of power in Ghana, and we're about to open the business in Kenya and Uganda. My previous business, which is still operating with a different CEO, is called Mani Rent. That business we opened in 5 countries in 3 years across Africa. That was Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, and Botswana. So I'm reasonably familiar with the landscape of establishing new enterprises across Nigeria and West Africa in particular. I'm also a member of the CC Hub Incubator Group, which is, a similar organization to yourselves, where I mentor several early stage businesses with a view to, just guiding the entrepreneurs through the minefield of, setting up a business that will attract potentially local investors and ultimately international investors. So I'm happy to share any of my experiences with you guys. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to take questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tony. Now I'm going to ask the first question. We want to know what have been some of your prospects and also some of your disappointments around running a business. You've clearly been in West Africa longer than me, even though I was born here. I'm only 2 years in, and I moved my business over here because we were doing well in the UK, so I decided to move us over here. And we are a luxury concierge, just so you know. So now, I've had so much struggles with, doing difference between a business, which is more of a want and a need, that, clients would usually go for what they need as opposed to what they want. So it would be really, really nice to hear your experience on, where you struggled in the West African market, specifically in the Nigerian market, in the area of business, and the areas where you've thrived.
I think there's a few things you need to build a business in Nigeria in particular. I think the first one is tenacity. Nothing happens quickly in Nigeria. If you think it's going to take you a year, it's probably going to take you 3. I think one of the largest mistakes I see when people come to Nigeria, whether it's diaspora returning or whether it's international companies coming to start a business here, is they tend to fill their business up with expats, which come at a very high cost. We've been operating for 5 years, and I am the only expat in this business. 20 full-time staff and 250 certified subcontractors, all Nigerian. The talent to run any business in Nigeria is here. If it's not here, there's good quality Nigerian developed talent pool that's available here. It can't be done. We spend a lot of time training and developing people, particularly females and young people, who quite often haven't had an opportunity because of glass ceiling of lots of guys my age sitting in key positions who aren't moving anytime soon. So the opportunities are quite often not there in the market, where the younger folks with their technology and their super fast brains, they make great employees. I think if you can run a business in Nigeria, you can run a business anywhere in the world. I've worked on probably 5 different continents, and Nigeria would rank in the top 2 or 3 as the most challenging environment to operate a business. I think if you want to expand, depending if you're selling products or service, if you can find something that has Naira inputs that you can sell at dollar revenue, would be a great business for Nigeria. There's very few businesses that operate on a Naira cost base that can generate a US dollar or euro income. I think key to expanding outside of Nigeria is finding the right investors that can back your idea, that maybe have networks outside of Nigeria. So many of the early stage startups that I'm involved with, normally we do like a friend and family round to generate enough cash to run the day-to-day business. But then as the business, when we're looking for new investors, we look outside of Nigeria. Not because the money is any better, but because the network and business opportunities they can lead you into is much broader than just Nigeria. This is a huge market, but equally, if you can have a Nigerian business delivering services or products outside of Nigeria, the impact of having a US dollar revenue or a euro revenue that is not depreciating like the Naira is extremely attractive. So I think it's diversification in your investor base is the answer to the lady who's looking to expand her business outside of Nigeria.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Tony. I have a question myself. Now, this is more on your the mentorship that you offer through the CC Incubator Group. Now, there are loads of businesses who struggle to, catch the attention of investors. And, no matter how amazing their business plan is or their idea is. So what would you usually recommend that investors are looking at? And I'm talking more on the private side of running a business. So not like a social idea, more of a private business. What would you advise?
I think to have a clear business plan to explain, to potential investors, what is your business plan? What is your pitch to both the investor and to the market you're trying to enter? I see so many business plans that are so convoluted. By the time I read them from front to back, I'm not sure what this is. They're trying to be all things to all people. So I would pick your key 1 or 2 topics and try and keep your focus very narrow. You can always add other things later, but for your initial pitch to potential investors, keep your pitch very narrow. And we all like to be ambitious, but we need to be fairly realistic as well.
One I've never heard before, and that is fantastic. Thank you so much for that one, Tony. For those of you who didn't hear, have a niche in your initial position and keep your pitch very narrow. And I agree, I've read so many business plans and I just see that they're all over the place. They're doing this, they're doing that, they offer this, offer that. And when it's time to do the credit crunching and the financials, you see that a bulk of it goes towards institutionalization, like headcount and stuff like that, and getting an office space. So it's really like, okay, you're doing a bunch of stuff, but where is the money needed? Last thing, Mr. Tony, because we're pressed for time, and we'd love to have you longer, and I hope we can invite you again. One more thing is leaving us. What is the one thing that you would advise anybody who would love to start a business, especially here in Nigeria?
I think if you're going to investors, make sure your main pitch and your main request is not to fulfill your overhead needs. So investors don't like to see the use of funds going to pay staff and salaries. So you need to bring your team together and have everybody with the same objectives so they're aligned with potential shareholders. So the businesses that I invest in, they're not businesses to pay big salaries to the founder or the entrepreneur. You know, and we like to see the founders or entrepreneur making personal sacrifices to grow their business and not bring in a bunch of expensive headcount to do it.
Very, very fantastic advice. So guys, I hope you've heard it in your quest to look for the right team members. Please don't start offering them salaries. Don't start asking them to name their price. If you have to discuss shares and percentage with them, by all means. But you know, it's also very, very good to leave something for shareholders and potential investors who want to come into your business. Mr. Tony, we're so grateful to have you. Oh, lastly, before we go, we just want to know if you're offering any any internship opportunities. Guys, internships are free. Any internships opportunities? Can people reach you? What's the best way they can?
Yeah, we have a lot of interns within our business. We're probably a bit different to most other businesses, as in any intern comes into our workplace, gets paid. We don't believe in free labor at Starsight. You know, it's all about somebody's first experience in life as an intern is, you know, traveling at their own expense, working for free. It's not a good way. Somebody needs to understand the exercise of going to work every day and getting remunerated. That is what the whole system is all about. One other bit of advice for your early stage entrepreneurs and investors is be very careful who you bring in as shareholders early on in your business, because you'll find when you start to talk to external investors, they will have a heavy focus on who your current shareholders are and what their reputation in the marketplace is. So maybe there may be some easy money around out there to raise, but think of the implications of that person that you're bringing into your business as a major shareholder, because that will heavily affect what sort of other shareholders will join you on your journey.
Amazing, fantastic. Thank you for that, Mr. Tony. So on that note, is there anybody that, you know, are there any positions for, potentially any internship opportunity?
I think all of our opportunities are on our website. If there's entrepreneurial businesses that are looking for advice, or, you know, I'm happy to field inquiries. If somebody's got a pitch deck they want me to look at, you know, I can nearly always find time for, you know, a 10-minute review or something like that. I'm on LinkedIn. You can reach me on LinkedIn. So happy to respond to anybody who's got any questions.
Amazing, fantastic. And yes, we most definitely will be utilizing that. And I think a lot of people would find that very, very useful. So what will happen is that after this Zoom, Mr. Tony, of course, will liaise very, very shortly. Won't take up too much of your time. And, you know, if we can just have your email, and anybody who wants to reach out to you, we'll just filter it through us. So once again, thank you so much for your time. Very, very insightful, and well done in what you're doing in Nigeria and different parts of West Africa. Very, very impressive. Thank you so much, Mr. Tony.
Thank you very much for having me, and pleasure meeting everybody, or briefly as it may be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.